Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the Cookout Podcast, where we talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. Baby!
We are here as always on Tuesday night for the count. We are going to be talking top five favorite women's WWE wrestlers and top five best women's wrestlers. As you know, on this
WWE.
channel, WWE, yes. On this channel, we like to delineate between favorite and best. Favorites can be the ones that you like to watch the most, and the best are the ones that you objectively think are the best wrestlers at that time. So, and for us, we see those as two different things. That doesn't mean you can't have crossover and same people on the same list, but they are two different lists. So, we're each going to give, I guess, our top five favorites, and then we'll talk about and try to come to a consensus of a top five women's list for current WWE women's wrestlers, including Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Waiting for Anika. She should be back in just a minute. There she is. So if you're new with us, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, hit the bell to be notified every time we drop new content. I'll put the horsey up now real quick just so we'll do a little housekeeping. To start off, too, if you click on that horsey, it'll take you to the link tree that takes you to all of our social media stuff. So you can engage with us anywhere there. If you're here with us, engage with us in the live chat. We love to hear from you guys. Love to hear anything you got to say. Let us know your top five favorite WWE women and your top five best WWE women. Um, let's see. This was Sammy's idea, as usually most lists are. So I'm going to let Sammy lead us through however he wants to do this.
Um, well, I think it's best to start off with our favorites because the best is going to be a group thing and there's going to be a lot of discussion. Uh, should we go round robin, five, fours, threes, twos, and ones, or should I just go five through one?
Let's go round robin. It makes it take a little bit longer, and since this is really all we have planned to talk about, we can make sure that we. Not that once we start debating the best, we won't have plenty to talk about, but.
All right. Well, my number five favorite woman on the roster, I'm going to give it to Roxanne Perez.
Okay. So, real quick, to be on either list, you have to have been on WWTV at least one time in some capacity in the last calendar year. So, unfortunately, as of right now,
Wait. In that case, does Julia count? Because she was on TV.
when?
No, that was the
NXT.
audience. No,
Yeah.
no, it does
Okay.
not count.
Okay. Just
Sorry,
making sure she
in a
was on
wrestling
TV.
capacity. In a wrestling capacity, as in giving a promo in part of a storyline segment, or in wrestling. So that does unfortunately eliminate Julia and Stephanie Vicor at the moment. So I'm sorry, Sammy. You gave us your fifth, right? And you said it was who? I apologize.
Roxanne
Perez. All right. Do you want to go next, Anika, or you want me to go next?
You go next.
All right. So my fifth favorite current WWE women's wrestler has to be Jade Cargill. Even though they haven't given her a whole lot to do on TV, the stuff that she's done has been good. And I just am always excited to see her. When I see her name, I get excited. So she's my number five at the moment.
All right. And for number five, favorite wrestler and WWE female, of course, I have to give it to Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
It's like she just has this aura of okay, she's on the TV, business has picked up. No matter who she's facing, I want to see what's going to happen next. So yeah, that's deserving of a top five spot.
Who'd you say again? ALW.
I said Jade.
Hmm.
What?
I didn't realize Jade was that high on his list.
Why?
I just didn't.
Cause I want you. I feel like you don't know how you sound right now. Oh, Jay, huh? Oh, okay. I'm
So
just saying, it sounds really inconspicuous. It's what it sounds right now.
my bad, my bad. All right, my number 4. I am gonna go with Kyrie Sane.
Understand.
Let's see. My number 4 is the Queen of Hearts. I'm sorry, Queen of Spades. I apologize. Shayna Baszler.
Two very different things.
Yes, it is. Yes, totally misspoke, but yes.
I mean, just turn the heart upside down and add a little tail into it.
That's right. Miss Shayna Baszler.
All right, my number 4 is Miss Jade Cargill. Yes. One of the chocolate towers of power. Yes.
Let's see. All right, so that was 4. How about if we do 3?
All right. Well, for mine, I need Anika to get her Samantha Irvin on and say her name for me.
Why I said Ace under her. Piper Niven. No. Chelsea Green.
All right. Let's see. Well done. All right. So my number 3 current favorite WWE wrestler, she's been out for a while, but she has been on TV in the last year, is the queen of the WWE, Miss Charlotte Flair. She is always going to be in my top 5 somewhere.
If she was on TV, she'd probably be higher.
Probably.
Man, all right.
Man, all right. All right, Miss Adika. Yep, number 3.
Number 3. we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Yeah. I gotta give it to Io Shirai. Well, I'm sorry, Io Sky, but Io Shirai has a bigger pop to it, in my opinion. But I'll give her Io Sky, but same chick, same awesomeness in the ring. Number 3, hands down. Yes.
All right. So, Sammy Joe, you're number 2.
Hey, we want some Bailey. Hey,
Wow.
we want some Bailey.
I didn't realize she was that high on your favorites list.
Well, she was number 3 until I was told I couldn't have my number 1 anymore.
Okay. So, let's see. Number 2 on my favorites list at the moment is Ms. Nia Jax, who I love and can never get enough of. So that's my number 2 current favorite at the moment. Miss Anika, how about you?
That's a good one. And she might be my top. I might have to alter this around a little bit. As of right now, we're going to keep it right here. My number 2, my forever glow darling, Miss Naomi. Bring it to the flow.
It was her, Jade for 5, and Jade just barely beat her out. Naomi was number 6 for sure.
I think I would have had an easier time doing a top 10 than I did doing a top 5.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So, Sammy Joe, your number 1. Oh, wait, where did it go? Oh, here it is. Number 1, current favorite WWE women's wrestler.
I got to go with the Empress, Asuka.
Aha. Just one spot. It was Naomi and Jade. They were fighting over number 6. Oh, maybe, yeah, they were fighting over number 5. And for me personally, I just think it's they both have the it factor. There's just something extra, a little bit more about Jade. Here's what I think it is. I think that Jade has the potential to be booked better than Naomi because she has because she's a little bit bigger and a little bit more
presence.
yeah, I guess, yeah, for lack of better, because Naomi has a ton of presence. I'm not sure that's exactly it. I think it's really an aesthetic thing. She's a little taller, she's a little bigger, which I think WWE likes, and I think they see her as more of a unique kind of thing than they do see Naomi. But they're right there, both five. I mean, it was 5 and 6, so could have been one or the other for me.
I'm just happy I'm not getting the tomatoes because
I
they'd
know.
both be my top 10, but neither of them were in my top 5.
I'm just saying to out Charlotte, there's a space for Naomi higher, but we're just gonna let that slide.
All right, and so I'm sorry, Sammy. You said
Asuka.
Number 1 is Asuka. All right. My number 1 favorite current women's wrestler in WWE is the EST Bianca Belair.
I'm against the wall.
There you go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's how you think.
I knew when I put her name on there that I was going to catch the heat for the Charlotte ranking, but I can't help it. That's my girl.
But we do agree on one thing, that my number 1 favorite female wrestler in WWE is Miss Bianca Belair. I'm on my own.
Yes.
I'm the odd man out.
Yes.
Damn.
You are the odd man out.
I never needed.
All right. So that's top 5 favorites. Now is where it's going to get interesting because we are going to try to come to a consensus. We'll each give our picks for the number and we'll each give our pick for that number for the best person, and then we'll see how we have crossover, and then we'll try to make a decision and come up with a consensus top 5 women. So this is where it should get fun. So Sammy Joe, you want to start again? You want to do a round robin? Well, if we're going to talk about them all, we should do them round robin. We got to do it round robin to make a consensus. So who do you have as your number 5 currently?
I actually have a tie. I couldn't choose.
Oh, I don't know if we can allow that. I think you got to make a pick. But tell us.
In that case, my number 5 is Bayley.
Okay.
Tied with who?
Well, we'll find out when we get to number 4.
Okay.
So who you knocked off though? Because I was curious.
Well, I had her tied for 4th. I couldn't decide on who's 4 and who's 5.
Oh, okay.
Not allowed.
Even for the favorites, we told them they had to be on TV within the last year, and Anika said sitting in the audience wasn't enough. So we wouldn't allow him to have Julia on either list. So he's bitter, but he'll live.
That's fine. It lets me put people like Roxanne and Kyrie on my list.
All right. So I'm sorry. You have Bayley at number 5. Sammy has Bayley number 5. All right. Let's see. At number 5, and maybe it's a little low compared to where everybody else has them, but I've got Becky Lynch at number 5.
Oh. Nope. I even though she's my favorite, what she did this year got me as the best, best overall. She's just a little lower. Yeah.
So who are you going with number 5?
This might be a little controversial, but I got Chelsea Green.
Ooh, at number 5. Ooh, okay. So none of us have the same pick. So
yes.
Jeez Louise.
Am I keeping track of these?
Sure, if you want to. That'd be great. So Sammy had Bayley, I've got Becky, and you've got Chelsea Green. I guess the question becomes, do both of you guys have Becky higher? Because if so, we can talk about putting her higher on the list. Anika, do you? Or is she out of your 5 at the moment?
Becky, she is not on my top 5.
Oh, okay. How about Sammy's pick, Bayley? Is Bayley in your top 5 somewhere at the moment?
She is, and she is a little higher, yes.
Okay. So I guess Becky's the first one to cut if she's on nobody's list but my own. So Becky will go out, and I guess we're looking at Bayley and I'm sorry.
Possible. Well,
I'm sorry. Who did Nika say? I'm drawing a blank again.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
I
For
can't do
number
it
5.
I can't do it as well as Nika.
do any of you have her in your top 5 higher?
No.
Okay. All right.
She's in my favorites list, but not my best list.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, she's not in my list either. So
All right,
she
so
would have been number
decide.
6.
Chelsea?
No. It's between Chelsea and Bailey at this point because those are the 2 picks that are on the board that are still. I don't know. I guess let's talk about it. So Chelsea, for me personally, if we're talking about those 2, Bailey and Chelsea, I think Bailey's a better in-ring worker, but Chelsea's better on the mic. It's almost a wash, kind of, in some regards. I don't think they balance each other out, so I'm not sure. I don't.
So
what do you guys think?
I'll just say why I chose Chelsea because of her character work. No, she has not lost it. No, she has not won anything on TV that makes her better than anybody. But just like when she's on screen, you gravitate towards her. You want to know what stupid, crazy foolishness she's about to do. And I think that is like, for my list of top 5 in WWE, who do I gravitate more? Who do I can't turn the TV off when they're on television? And that's Chelsea Green.
Well, I mean, I guess the question is, Sammy, you have Bailey at 5, and we don't know exactly what number Anika would have her at, but higher than that. So I guess the question is, are you okay with her potentially being a higher?
I think that Bailey is shortlisted. She might be number 5, but let's move through the list a little more because, like, we might even have her getting pushed out if, like, the top is, as contentious as it might be.
Okay. So, I guess let's go ahead and give us your 4th best wrestler then, Sammy.
All right. My 4th best is Asuka. My number 1 fave is my number 4 best.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And everyone's going to kill me for this, but my number 4th best when she's going right is Charlotte Flair. I know that Anika and CM don't think she's all that great a wrestler. I disagree. I think her in-ring work is great. And when she's going right, I think she's amazing in the ring. So, and I think she's a good promo. The only thing I don't care for is the ever-changing face of Charlotte. Well, and the fact that she's probably not the greatest person in real life, but we'll deal with that down the road. But for me, the 4th best current women's wrestler when she's right is Charlotte Flair.
But she'd be in my top 10.
She'd be in my top 10.
But what?
But she injured though. When the last time we see her wrestle or do anything besides oiling up Andrade for freaking Royal Rumble? It's been a minute. Has it been 2 years?
No, she's wrestled in the last year.
I honestly don't know. So please tell me when did she wrestle?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me pull it up on Cage Match and I'll tell you. Well, you give us your 4. Tell me who you're. I'll look for this in Cage Match and tell you what her last match was.
Your number 4 best.
My number 4 best. Okay, let's see here. Best female wrestler in WWE. Y'all know I didn't compare like I'm supposed to. I will give it to Jade Cargill. Yeah, number 4 best as of this year. Yeah. Again, just the aura. Just she's on television. I'm not turning that thing off. Point blank. Period. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying. Sorry, I'm looking here to see if I can find out what this winner.
I just flashed back. Was her last match the War Games of last year? I know her and Becky was in there, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're friends again." But I don't think she did anything after that.
Okay, that's not it. I'm having a hard time finding it. So let me see here.
If nothing, I think she was in War Games last year.
Match. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I feel like I've seen her on TV in the last calendar year doing something wrestling-wise. I mean, it's been, and more than just oiling down Andrade, but I could be wrong. But okay, that's because I put in Charlotte. Sorry, I don't mean to take forever to do this. I just want to make sure that I'm picking properly, that I'm following the rules.
So while you're doing that, Sammy, do you have Charlotte Flair at all on your list?
No, she'd be in my top 10, but she's not in my top 5.
Okay.
Okay, so why is she not coming up? I don't understand.
And I don't have her on my list because, like I said, I think the last thing she did was War Games 2023. Yeah.
And as for Jade would be my top 10 faves, but not my top 10 best.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, like.
Yeah, so they have her performing, let's see, women's triple threat in November of last year, 2023. So it's still within that. Wow. Let's see. Actually, Summer Center House Show. Friday Night SmackDown. November 24th, 2023. Damage Control, Asuka and Bayley defeated Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
CM found a house show, Tribute to the Troops, December 8th.
Yep. So, and War Games. She was in War Games, so that's definitely within the year. So,
Like my I'm sorry.
All right. So, are we at number 3?
It looks like it because we have no consensus on.
Okay. I'm sorry. Who did Anika have it for?
Jade.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Sammy, you're writing them down, right?
No.
Oh, what?
I thought you were.
Why would I be writing them down? This is your thing. Anika, you had who at Jade at 4?
So I had Bayley. I had Bayley at 5 and Jade at 4.
You had Bayley at 5?
Yes.
I had Bayley at 5.
No. Sorry. I had Chelsea Green. at 5. Sorry.
Okay, Sammy, are you writing them down now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not then.
Jade.
I need your first pick.
Mine? So you need my number 5?
Yeah.
Becky Lynch.
Well, CM, she didn't wrestle in WWE. That's why she can't be in WWE. Like, this is WWE. Even though we know her Marigold and WWE are, trying to chill out and hang out. That's still not considered a WWE program. So.
All right. Wow. So my third best.
She'll be on the list in 3 months.
Io Sky.
Okay. My third best is Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, we decided signed wasn't enough. We decided that it had to be on TV within the last year. And Sammy tried to sneak her in because she was in the crowd on the show, but Anika said that wasn't enough.
Look, I feel you.
I didn't think
Charlotte.
I never said 2024. I said calendar year. So that would be July 23rd of 2023, and she has wrestled since then.
Look, I feel you. If Julia was wrestling, it would definitely be Julia over Charlotte. But she hasn't yet, and we have to wait for her to be on television.
Oh. Julia would have been my number 1. Let's make that clear right now. She would have been top of the list.
And grass is green. We know this.
Stephanie Vicaire, too. She would be at the top of the list, and she's not available also to pick. So.
She would have actually been number 4 on my list, just above Io. Io would have been number 5.
All right. So
instead,
who's your
Io was my number
3?
3.
Who's your number 3, Anika?
Wait, hold up.
What was your number 3?
Thank you.
I just told you guys who my number 3 is. I said Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Really? Right. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, so much is going on. It blew
Who
past
did you say, Sammy?
I said Io Sky.
Io Sky. Okay. And who did I say?
No one.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Just want to get to nitty gritty here. Okay. All right. Dang it, man. Shoot. Okay, yep. Sorry, I am rearranging this in my mind, but if you're a fan, you already know how I do this. All right, so I'm gonna bump Chelsea Green out of 5, and that's easy because no one counted her. Yeah, I had to come like, no, we got to slide some people down. So let's slide some people down. I'll help you out here. So my number 5 is now Jade. My number 4 is. I'll put 4 at Bailey. My apologies. Number 4 is Bailey. And now I'm still tossed. Now I'm debating. Yeah, 3 is Io Sky. It is. 3 is Io Sky. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a match. Me and Anika both said
Io one consensus so far. Io Sky.
Yeah.
That's the same number.
Yeah. No, so I bumped. It's like so Chelsea Green is on the list. Chelsea's out. So yeah, Bailey's at 4, Jade's at 3. Wait, hold up.
Because like Chelsea's in my top 5 favorite, but I wouldn't have her in my top 10 best. Like, I really like Chelsea, but like, there's so many women who are better technicians.
Yeah. So right now, my list is Jade's at 5, Bailey's at 4, and Io Sky is at 3.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Sammy and Anika both have Io Sky at 3, so I guess she's a lock at 3. Let's put her there for the moment, and we will go back and see what else we've got going on around her. Sammy, who you got at number 2?
Number 2, I got Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Okay, so I had her at 3. You have her at 2. Let's see. So for me, number 2, we're at 2 now. We're at 2 now.
No, I mean we're at 2. No, yeah, I'm rearranging some stuff.
Again? You're killing me.
I'm sorry.
All right, people. My number 2 is Bianca Belair.
Okay. All right. So, sorry, CM. I gotta bump out Bailey. So Jay is confidently at 5. Io is still at 3. Dang it. No, because honestly, we're talking about the best in the world, right?
Yeah, who's best in between the rows.
As of right now.
As non-biased as you can be. Not whether you like them or not, but where you see them as the best wrestler in the world.
Between those ropes after the bell rings.
So I do believe that Rhea was not on my list. That's why I'm changing things around. And Rhea should be on my list. And I'm trying to see where the freak I'm going to place her. My apologies. Yeah, she's 2. She's no. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm not confusing y'all, but bump it. All right, number 2 is Nia Jax. Yes, but she's still on. She should be on my list, and she will be on my list. Nia freaking Jax. Yes.
Okay, but your 4 is open now because you took Bailey out but didn't put somebody back in 4.
Yeah. You can put Bianca at 4.
Bianca at 4.
Yeah.
All right. And so you said number 2 was Nia Jax. Okay, so we're through the number 2s. Sammy, go ahead and give us your number 1, and then we'll look at this whole list and see where we got crossover.
All right. My number 1 is Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I had her at 2, and Nika's got her at 4. So somewhere she belongs in the list in the top 5 at one of those numbers somewhere. For me, the best women's wrestler in WWE, in my opinion, hands down, has to be Asuka. No doubt about it.
I dig that picture's in my top 5 as well.
You know what?
All right.
You know what? Screw it. Screw this list. I'm just gonna give my top 5 of the best WWE. We'll figure it out later. Okay? I have my favorites. Y'all know who I love. All right. So this is my top 5. Whatever order, I don't give a crap. Okay. So Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Bianca, Jade. I said Nia Jax, right?
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley.
All right. That's 5.
4. That's 4.
I thought you said 5. She said Bianca.
Jade, Nia Jax, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley.
Okay, so Bayley's out.
Bayley is out. Bayley is not in my top 5.
Okay.
It really is a number thing that be throwing me off.
Okay, so Jade. No. Becky. Yeah. Oh no, wait. Huh?
No Becky.
Right, Becky
Chocolate?
was.
Becky was my number 5.
Yours is Jade.
Yes.
Right.
So
No, screw my numbers. This the people I know. Just screw the numbers.
I'm just making sure I have them all written down.
Okay.
So it is.
And we're going to try to give them numbers ultimately. So ultimately, you're going to have to make a decision at some point on where you think these people go.
So Jade, Bianca.
Yes.
Io.
Yes.
Nia Jax.
Yes.
And Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Not in that particular order, but yes, those 5.
Yes, those 5. Yes. Then we will discuss together amongst each other. Yes.
CM says Bianca, Rhea, Io, TBD, and Bayley. TBD.
Honestly, put Nia. Yeah. Honestly, put Nia Jax in there, and then put remove. Because Bayley is good though, but I'm just not into her as champion right now.
Okay, so seeing as we all had Bianca on the list and only you and me had Asuka on the list, are you cool with putting Bianca at number 1?
I think of all 3, if she's the only name that all 3 of us had on our list, and she belongs at number 1.
So let me ask.
Yeah, you didn't have Io. We all had Rhea.
That's the only person I'm debating. Who is Rhea versus Bianca as who is number 1? Y'all still say.
So here's the only argument I think against Rhea is that she's been injured, but for a while but Bianca hasn't been on TV a whole lot either.
She has,
let me rephrase that. I don't watch SmackDown, so I can't make that comment clearly because I don't watch SmackDown. Maybe she is on every week, but I feel like I haven't been seeing her as much as we were a little while ago. It feels like Jade came in, they kind of bunched her with Jade, and now both of them have kind of been cooled off a little, but maybe I'm just not seeing them on SmackDown because I don't watch it. You guys can tell me, but
you should they're definitely on SmackDown, and watch Hot Ones because they're facing each other. That's a very cool episode on YouTube. Sorry. But yeah, as of right now, the status of where they are and the status of where Rhea Ripley is, I will put Rhea Ripley at 1 and Bianca at 2. Only about how the status, how right now, who's more important and who's, because right now, Rhea Ripley is carrying the Raw Women's Division. I don't care about anyone else. No offense, but that is straight up.
Well, the Raw women's division kind of sucks. Like, SmackDown's pretty well stacked. They have, like, the best women over on SmackDown. But,
And I would argue that there are times where sometimes your champion or the person carrying your brand might not be what I consider the best wrestler in your company either. The most marketable doesn't necessarily mean the best wrestler. I mean, in my opinion, sometimes. So, me personally, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Asuka's a better in-ring worker than both of them. That's why I put her at number one. I think she's the best in-ring worker, technician, expression, body language, all that stuff for me. But if we're talking about Bianca and Rhea only for that top number one spot, I mean, for me personally, I think Bianca's a little bit better in the ring. I think she's a little more athletic. I think she's got a little bit more of the it factor. She has more charisma, more personality than Rhea. That's just my personal opinion.
So I concur. I do agree with y'all. I'm not disagreeing with anything. It's more about the rule of the last calendar year. And I think
but you're going on booking, not her matches.
But the last calendar year, booking, personality-wise, yeah, I'm looking at the whole picture. Like, I know y'all like the in-ring work, but you have to make me care outside the ring and inside the ring.
It's fair. I mean, that is fair. I don't know. I guess we'll put those two at one end, put them at the top, and we'll figure out as we continue to talk who ends up in one and who ends up in two. What about three? I guess Sky has to be there because you guys both had her at least in three.
Well, also Asuka was number 4 for me, and she was number 1 for you, which I think is enough to bump her up past Io to the 3rd spot because she was number 1 for you.
I mean, I'm good with that. I mean, I would still have her at number 1. So, I mean, I'm definitely good with her being number 3. I think that it sounds like you are. The only question is if Anika's good with Asuka being number 3.
I'm not, because she's hurt. And like I said, this year, Io's matches have been more appealing than Asuka's matches, along with the storyline of her leading Damage Control.
I don't know. I mean, Io's not even on my list. So
if I get outvoted, I get outvoted. But yeah, the last calendar year, you can't tell me that Io's matches have not been as better than Asuka's matches.
I mean, I'm fine either way. So this is a debate for you two.
I mean, as long as Asuka makes the list next, I mean, if we're talking about the spots in 3 and 4 and Io 3 and Asuka at 4, then I don't have a problem with that. If we're talking Io 3 and Asuka not on the list at all, that's a fucking travesty. There shouldn't be a list in the world that's ever made about WWE women's wrestlers at any time, and Asuka's not in the top 5. There just shouldn't be. So if she's off the list and completely, that I'm definitely not okay with. If we're talking about Io being in 3 and Asuka at 4, then that I'm okay with talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so Io's at 3. Let's talk about 4.
Asuka. Asuka was my number 4. And ALW's number 1.
All right, so I get outvoted. Yes, sure. Asuka, that's 4.
And number 5, there's no doubles left. So the highest ranked person, well, you didn't put a ranking to your numbers.
I did no, and I actually like it that way.
So we have a free for all: Bailey, Becky, Jade, Charlotte, Nia Jax. Well, Bailey was my number 5, so I'll go ahead and cut her out. Becky was also number 5, so I'll go ahead and cut her out. So we have Charlotte, Jade, Nia Jax. So go ahead and cut one of those. Anika, who do you like more, Nia Jax or Jade? And then we'll debate the other one to Charlotte.
No, let ALW go first.
What do you mean? He has his pick. His pick is Charlotte.
It should be Charlotte. I'm sorry. It should be Charlotte. Okay.
I went ahead and make the executive decision to cut the number 5s. So
I'm
Bailey
going.
and Becky are out.
I'm going to make an executive. I'm going to follow my own rule of this calendar year, and it has to be Nia. Nia Jax.
No, Nia's. Oh, between her and Jade. Okay.
Over Jade, yes, Nia.
Okay. So Nia Jax versus Charlotte.
I mean, that's really. I mean, it's a recency thing because Nia right now is going and Charlotte's obviously not. And obviously Charlotte's last calendar year, even though we determined that she has wrestled since July 23rd of 2023, has not been very auspicious. She has been gone more than she's been around. And Nia was gone for a little while too during that time as well.
Nia's only been back a few months. And Charlotte was only here for the first few months of the last year, so
that's probably somewhat of a wash. I mean, this is a really tough one for me because they're two totally different kinds of wrestlers.
The Queen versus the Queen in the ring.
I mean,
and you don't like
favorites wise, Nia's higher on my list than Charlotte is. In my head, when I think of the two of them wrestling, I see Charlotte just a hair above Nia, just in all around skill as far as a wrestler goes. Nia's been accused of hurting people. She's had more botches. She's had more issues in ring with her in ring work.
Last year, not the whole career. Last year.
And you just had to take Bailey off your list, didn't you? We had an easy sweep for 5.
I mean, the fact that we have a list of 5 best women's wrestlers in WWE and Becky Lynch isn't on it to me seems like a travesty. So, it is what it is. So, I mean, there's other people that should be on this that I feel like should be on this list too. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm having a real hard time here. My heart wants to say both of them. I mean, I have a hard time thinking. I mean, Nia's going better now, but Charlotte was going better before. I mean, if we're moving, just in general. I mean,
the last year, from last July to this July, who had a better go around?
No, I understand what you're saying. But that doesn't just include, for me, it's not just about who won more matches, who was in more matches, any of that. It's actually, for me, about how you work during those matches, too. So it's not just whether you won or had more or won more championships in the last calendar year. It's about how those matches worked and how the promos before those matches worked and all that stuff. So, I mean, Charlotte could, in theory, Charlotte could be better if she had one match in the calendar year, if it was match of the year during that time, and Nia had 50 OK matches. So it's not really about quantity to me, it's about quality. So, and I'm not saying that Charlotte's getting the pick, I'm just saying it's about quality. So,
like here you're so tall. Like, if she had not if, what is, and the fact of the matter is, she only had the War Games and the triple threat that no one the truth to the troops that no one freaking remembers.
I mean, I wasn't trying to add in a hypothetical to my decision. I'm saying that I'm just talking about how I weigh the decision in my head. I know you're going Charlotte. I know you're going Nia. Who are you picking, Sammy? Give me a second. Who do you have, Charlotte or Nia? Because I'm having trouble picking.
Neither of these were in my top 5. Charlotte would be in my top 10, but she'd probably be like number 10. I have to, Nia did win Queen of the Ring, but honestly, I wouldn't put her in my top 10, period. I guess I have to go with Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I'd much rather have Becky or Bailey.
I mean, in hindsight, It's tough because Anika had Nia ranked really high, but in hindsight, I'd almost rather have Becky or Bailey than having to choose between Nia and Charlotte here. But Anika had Nia very well. She didn't really have numbers, but
Yeah,
when
she
she
got
had
rid of her numbers.
when she had numbers, she had Nia really high. So I know she puts a lot of weight on Nia. So
So I will give up the ghost, and we cannot do between Nia and Charlotte. We can do Bailey versus Becky.
Oh. Well,
and,
now it becomes a
I'll give
competition
you-
between me and ALW here.
I'll give
Because
y'all
he
an out.
definitely wants Becky, and I definitely want Bailey. They were both women's champions. They both have banger matches. Like, I will say for Becky, her match versus Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Championship, that was a banger match. But then she also had that feud with Xia Li that was like really weird. And so, like, I have to demerit Becky for that too.
let's not forget how bad Damage Control was rolling with Becky or with Bailey at the head at the end of last year. So they were getting beat all the time, and through the beginning of this first year until Becky left and Dakota Kai. Now they're still getting beat, but that's a totally different story. But
did they lose at War Games?
They did, but like you said, that booking was stupid. That booking was stupid. Why the freak would you not have Damage Control win? Especially the entrance when they had all came out in the Oscar mask. That was just dumb. I love Triple H, but that was just dumb. I'm sorry.
For me personally, man, I don't know. I mean, it's like for up through WrestleMania, Becky was the hottest thing going. I mean, in general, I mean, she just right. I mean, so her and Rhea, I guess, until Rhea got hurt. I mean, they were like the two hottest things going. So for me, Becky, I mean, had a little bit better year. If we're talking about who's had a better year, Becky's had a better year than Bailey, in my opinion. But I for me, they're 1 and 1A as far as I think they're equal. I mean, I don't have a problem with either of them at 5. I don't really have a problem with either of them at 5. I think they're interchangeable at 5 and 6. Either one can be 5, either one can be 6, and I'd be happy with either way.
I like this a lot better than debating Nia and Charlotte. I did not put either of them for number 5.
But that leaves Nia and Charlotte both off the list, so which is tough. I mean, in my heart of hearts, says both of them belong on that top 5 list somewhere, probably. But I don't know. I know Nia wasn't on mine, but I mean, I don't know. So, so what do we got here? So, did we make a decision? Are we putting Becky or Bailey at 5?
Well, I think it's up to Anika because you and I don't agree. But we're both fine with either one actually being number 5, but we don't agree on who's 5 and who's 6.
Who you got as the tiebreaker, Anika? Becky or Bailey at number 5?
I hear both points of view and both debatable. Bringing Bailey before, and sorry, Becky leading up to Survivor Series, a great run at NXT. An enjoyable run at NXT. Bailey was losing, but her winning the Royal Rumble and then the WrestleMania match was god awful. I know Becky was hurt. I'm more so sick. So I guess more so was the summer to November, I give it to Becky, but winter to spring, I give to Bailey. So which one is better?
And we haven't had Becky for the summer, so we've only had Becky for the summer.
That's true.
So is Becky's summer better than Bailey's spring and winter?
No. It's Becky's winter better than Bailey's spring and summer.
No, well,
we haven't had Becky for summer.
No, I'm saying last year.
Last summer.
Oh,
July of last summer.
SummerSlam of last year, August.
Yeah.
And then this year, after Royal Rumble, Bailey's era.
So summer and winter of 23 for Becky, and winter and spring of 24 for Bailey.
Yeah.
And now technically summer of 24 because Becky hasn't been around, so since WrestleMania, really. So
has the time that Becky's been gone given Bailey the edge that she needs to take that number 5 spot away from Becky?
I gotta give it to Bailey. I just remember the France triple threat. That was great. The Royal Rumble, her winning, that was great. WrestleMania, that was beautiful.
My favorite was her match against Naomi.
Yeah, I think Bailey's championship run was better than Becky's last year. Yep.
So we'll do this here. So number 5. Hold on. I meant to do this. Sorry. Is Bailey. Consensus says number 5. Oh, now why did that happen? Number 4, current best WWE women's wrestler is Bailey. What was number 4?
Oscar.
Rich, you didn't really want to fight Anika on that one, remember? You said it's fine.
Yeah, I'd argue for 1, but again, no one else is there. So, like I said, if it's a matter of her being 4 instead of 3, then it is what it is. If it's a matter of her being off the list, then that I would definitely argue against. So, I think she has to be on the list somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But if she's 4, and I think we decided on EO at 3, is that correct?
Yes.
And here's where we don't have a consensus yet. We haven't made a decision on Rhea. We have to come up with a number 1. We have to decide between Rhea and Bianca, who is number 1 and who is number 2.
This is my list. I'm loving this. Like we can do the full sweep. Just let me win at list making. Bianca at number 1.
Yeah, I don't. Again, this is one of those things where they've been kind of hot at different times, and each one has had their moments where they've had, where they've, I think, shined a little bit more than the others. Bianca's been here the whole time, though, right? And Rhea's been gone, so more than Bianca. What?
Only the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Now, Rhea's had like a better run of things, like holding championships.
Which is what we talked about earlier, which doesn't necessarily determine to me necessarily to always be the best.
Because otherwise, Liv would probably be on the list, and none of us wants to live on the list if we do it that way.
Right. Yeah, we're not talking, in my opinion, we're not talking. It does weigh in, but at the same time, it's not in my opinion, the overwhelming factor, that's for sure. Man, I don't know. This is tough. I think the only thing that's going for Rhea potentially being ahead of Bianca is that she's been the biggest star in a faction that's been a huge storyline, that's basically carried a show. So where Bianca really hasn't. It's been a little while since Bianca's been in what I would call a real solid storyline. Her stuff with Jade has been kind of random here and there. And
they got this stuff going on with Indy and Candice, and like the story's not there, but when you ring that bell, God, does she go?
But I'm a story person, so story-wise, I like Rhea more than I like Bianca right now.
But this is also not the favorites list. Wait, what was Bianca on your favorites list?
She was number 1, I believe. But it's not favorite. It's the best female wrestler in WWE. Not just in the ring, not just outside the ring. A combination of both.
Combination of both, absolutely.
For me, it's in the ring.
See, no, it can't just be in the ring. If it was just in the ring, this would be a whole entire different freaking list.
Well, I think the criteria is in and out. I mean, I think the criteria is all. I mean, I think it's a whole package thing. So, can you talk? Can you wrestle? When you wrestle, can you have the proper body expressions and body language? You know, how often do you have botches? How often do you have issues while you're wrestling? All those kinds of things. But I think promo stuff and presence is just as important. So, okay, so let's break this down a little bit.
I think Bianca's a better promo.
Who's a better? I was just gonna say, who's a better promo, Bianca or Rhea? Anika, who do you think's a better promo, Bianca or Rhea?
I'm thinking the last year.
Because, I mean, aside from Rhea going, I'm Rhea Bloody Ripley. Like, I don't really care for Rhea's promos, like, at all. Like, I think she's great. I don't care for her promos at all.
Because last year it was just Bianca versus Damage Control, and no offense, I was somewhat interested, but not really.
CM says Bianca's better on the mic is a better promo than Rhea.
All right, fine.
I think I agree with that. I think Bianca's a better promo than Rhea as well.
Okay.
So that's basically out of ring work. That's talking, I guess. And then in ring work, I mean, the actual wrestling, the physical movement and interaction. I mean, not the body language, not the little things that people do, but just the actual moves, the fluidity, the athleticism. Who's better? Sammy, Bianca or Rhea?
Number one.
If y'all want Bianca, then y'all got Bianca.
If you're doing just athleticism alone, she might be number one on the planet when it comes to.
You're talking Bianca.
Yeah. Like I think Mercedes Moné is a better wrestler, but she's not as athletic as Bianca is.
See, listen, I stink. Listen, if I'm outvoted, then fine. I'm outvoted. Y'all can do Bianca as number one. But I'm saying last year I was more invested in Rhea than I was Bianca. Not the best wrestler in the world of last year, who was more important in the last calendar year. But it seems as though y'all two want Bianca, and I'm outvoted. So there's no real use of fighting. So if y'all want Bianca 1 and Rhea 2, then yes.
I wasn't necessarily fighting or arguing, and I hadn't personally settled on one or the other yet. I'm still kind of on the fence a little bit, honestly. I'm leaning definitely more towards Bianca, but I also think I think inherently we talk about trying to be as objective as we can, but bias plays into everything, and I don't think I can get away from the fact that I just happen to like Bianca a little bit better than Rhea, and I think that just weighs into it. I don't know how to get away from that. But at the same time, I mean, Rhea is amazing, and
let me be real clear. On my favorites, Rhea was on my favorites. Bianca was not, I don't think. So I had Roxanne, Kyrie at 4, Chelsea Green, and then it was Bailey and then Austin. No, neither of them were in my top 5 favorites. Wow. Huh. Neither of them were in my top 5 favorites.
Bianca was in my top 5 favorites, but Rhea was not. Man, it's tough. I don't know. I mean, I'm honestly okay with either, really. I mean, I think it's splitting hairs at this point. I mean,
it's number 1 and number 2. Like, they're both great.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's splitting hairs. I mean, I'm not sure that I don't know that I can choose one over the other. I think the choice of one over the other would end up ultimately coming down to my bias, because I think really when I think about it objectively, they're on equal footing. I mean, Bianca's a little more athletic, but I think, man, I don't know. Rhea's so good in the ring too, though. I mean, it's not. Mm-hmm. She's very athletic as well. I mean, if Bianca's more athletic, it's not by a whole lot. And they both do so well with the body expression, with the facial expressions and the body language. They're both really good at that. I mean, the real difference for me is that Bianca's a better promo. But I don't know.
This
It's tough.
has to be real tough on Anika because she's arguing against her number one favorite.
I've already said it's not really tough. I already said who I think she's number 1, 2. It really is up to y'all.
So you think Rhea should be 1 and Bianca 2?
Yes. This would have been way easier. This would have had the Bianca Rhea match at WrestleMania, but we're not going to go there.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I'm willing to go with that too. And here's what I think is the thing that's pushing me over the edge. I think it has to be the booking and the storyline with Judgment Day and Dominic. The fact that they have dominated. Well, I feel like Bianca and Jade have been a little cooled down, or Bianca, since she's been paired with Jade, unfortunately, has been a little cooled down. And Rhea has been extremely warm because she's the leader of Judgment Day, and the stuff with Dominic has been so basically the number one story for the most part, other than the bloodline. So for that, and because she's carried it, and when she was gone, the Judgment Day was far less exciting. I think Rhea has to be number 1. I think I'm okay with that. I think Rhea 1 and Bianca 2. I think that's what I finally settled on.
Well, for me, the greatest story is the vitriol that Anika had towards Wingstop advertising for Bianca's match.
It wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. And don't do it at SummerSlam or next WrestleMania.
Rick Ross will pay his money to what he wants. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, if you can literally tell me that Rick Ross said, I want my advertisement towards this match, I'll let it go. But I do not think Rick Ross said that he wanted his promotion on that match.
So, Sammy, what's your final decision?
I have to go with Bianca. I think she is...
At number 1?
I think she is one of the best. Like, when it comes to promos, when it comes to the in-ring work, when it comes to her athleticism, like, yeah. Like, if you do top 5 of men and women, like, she's still in the top 10. Easy.
Well, there's 3 of us, and 2 of us have her at 1, and 1 of us has her at 2. So, in theory, the majority would say 1. I'm sorry, that's not true. Back that up, the other way around. I think 2 of us have her at 2, and 1 of us have her at 1. So, the majority would say Bianca 2, Rhea 1.
Okay. I had a near perfect list then.
You're ultimately okay with that?
It's 2 against 1.
Right.
I don't have to internally agree with it, but I can't change
I agree with a couple of stuff in this room, but it's fine.
Number 2, Bianca. And number 1, best women's current wrestler in WWE is Rhea Bloody Ripley. What are we doing here?
I was this close to making you my first perfect list. This close.
Well, not really, because this whole thing was not unanimous. It went perfect if it was unanimous, but it wasn't.
So number 5 is Bayley. My number 5 was Bayley. Number 4 is Asuka. My number 4 was Asuka. Number 3 is Io. My number 3 was Io.
If we all 3 agreed to your list, then yes, but we all did not. So again, ununanimously, then yes.
I was this close. I just had to swap my 1s and 2s.
Sure. But okay, I will say this: like, it does entail you of the last year, where people's promos and where people were at, and I will say, Asuka got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want more for Asuka. I do want more for Bianca, because they are my chicks. But last year, the story wasn't there for them, unfortunately, and it's been all right in the ring. But we got to step it up. We got to step it up from them too, because they deserve more. They deserve a whole lot more. I will say, talking about this.
Unfortunately, I don't think Bianca's going to get it.
I'm not sure.
I think the next big thing she's going to do is lose to Jade, so Jade gets a push and Jade gets to move up on the ticket, and they're just going to cool Bianca off more.
And I would agree with you, but Rhea and Bianca said they want to face each other at Mania. So, I'm not saying it's next year, but I don't see it be. I don't see. I don't.
I mean, to be fair, Bianca's got a good at least 5 years left to her career, so like we'll probably get there eventually.
But eventually, yeah, man, it's something about striking while the iron is hot, right? And yeah, you can rebuild up people in promos and storylines and stuff, but I feel like the further you get away from Rhea and Bianca, it's not gonna the harder it is to reheat it up. I'll say that the harder it is to reheat it up.
But like male wrestlers wrestle like 5 years longer than the women's wrestlers do, unfortunately.
Yeah, but yeah.
So my disclaimer here is that all of these women are amazing, and that really, even though we're calling it a best list, the reality is that it's still subjective. It's really ultimately all of our opinions. All of these women are amazing. It's splitting hairs. Whoever you have at number 1 or number 5, feel good about that. All these women are amazing, and they all deserve more in general. Women's wrestling just as a whole, they deserve more attention and more spotlight in general.
And
I do think that it shows that even though I think that and maybe I could be wrong, I do feel like if this had been open to maybe all promotions, we would have seen a much different list, and maybe a lot of these WWE superstars lower on the list, at least it would have been for me. But at the same time, looking at this list shows you WWE is in good hands for the most part in the women's division. There's a lot of good women's wrestling in WWE.
I can tell you right now, if we included other promotions, only Bianca and Rhea would have been on my list. 3, 4, and 5 would not have made it.
So, all right. So, unless anyone has anything else to say,
yes, I would like to tell everyone watching to please comment down below and tell us who your 5 would be.
Yes, top 5. You could do best or women's or both. Let us know. Even you can comment even after the show goes off, and we will respond to your comments still. So we do want to hear from all of you. Let's see. As Dolores says, we'll do a little housekeeping. We'll put up the little horsey QR code, and let me take the little thing off so in case that doesn't interfere there. There is, if you scan that QR code, that will take you to Linktree, which will take you to all of our social medias, so you can engage with us anywhere. That's on Linktree. We're everywhere there's social media. Dolores has been great about getting us on everywhere, so please check us out everywhere. Please, if you're new here, subscribe on the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter, give a like on this video, hit the bell to be notified. And that's the best way to make sure that you know when we're going on, because we always put up an announcement and you will get a little notification so that you can always join us. Real quick, the standard schedule as of now is Sundays. Enter the square circle where myself and Sammy Joe are battling it out on WWE 2K24. Join us on Mondays, where Dolores and Jay News do Seeing Stars, where they talk about everything that's going on in the world of independent wrestling and put spotlights on all the people you need to pay attention to that are up and coming. Then on Tuesday nights, which you're here with us now, live for the Cookout every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, where we talk about everything that's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. We do dumb stuff like tonight, where we try to come up with a consensus list and everyone leaves unhappy, or we play games and someone leaves pissed because they lost. But needless to say, tune in for the fun and the chaos. As Sammy Joe likes to say, come for the wrestling, stay for the chaos. We're here every Friday night for Friday night fights, where Nika and Sammy Joe watch SmackDown and Rampage live, give you live real-time reactions and opinions on what's going on in those shows. Every Saturday morning, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, we are live for the Winner's Circle, where the three of us here review Raw, NXT, and Dynamite from the week before, grade each show, and declare a winner for the week between those shows. And then Saturday nights is all right. We do our Saturday night Collision watch along. That Collision watch along is technically on hold until September 1st. Please note, per like CM says, this is our last show for this week. We will be here Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, for Enter the Squared Circle, and then next Monday for Seeing Stars, and then we're back on our normal schedule. So next Tuesday we will be here for the cookout, but this Friday and Saturday we will not be here. So make sure and join us back at the beginning of next week for Enter the Squared Circle on Sunday, Seeing Stars on Monday. I think that's basically it. Anything else y'all want to say before we get out of here?
I'm so surprised that Rhea had that match with Zoe Stark and she's still number one.
All right. Until next time. Peace.